welcome to my channel, Amnicon Studio. My name is Marcy. If you are a returning friend, thank you for coming back. If you are brand new to the channel, hello, thank you for checking me out. I hope you stay and subscribe and do all the YouTube things. More about YouTube stuff later. Okay, I am late in recording this video. I have a good excuse for that. I want to apologize in advance for any chicken noises that you may hear on this video. Apparently when I decided to record, the hens decided that they needed to start laying eggs. And there are there's airplanes flying around overhead. I'm guessing they're DNR looking just to make sure there's no fires or something, because I do live in a heavily wooded area in the county. Tangent already. If I didn't already say, my name's Marcy. I live in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. This video is a cross stitch and crafting video. And I feel the need to start differentiating that because I am starting to put out garden videos. I am taking breaks in between the segments because I feel the need to catch my breath, so to speak. Since it has been a little bit longer since my last video, I do feel a little out of practice with this. I've got show notes. I've got works in progress. I have finished objects. I've got a little bit of haul, some birthday gifts, and first thing, I just wanted to do a quick little life update. I last recorded before the 4th of July. I had a very nice holiday weekend. I feel so weird with glasses, cheater glasses. Again, I'm sorry for the chickens. I had a nice holiday weekend. We did fishing, bike riding, a little bit of picnicking, and my husband was able to finally fulfill I don't know if it was a birthday promise, a Mother's Day promise, a Christmas gift promise, or what, but he bought me a fountain that we've both been eyeing for the last several years at one of the local big box hard home improvement stores. It's very regional to my area. If you've ever heard of Menards, you know where you can go and save big money. I wrote about it a little bit on the blog. I did posted a blog update. I wrote a blog update earlier this week. I blog over at amniconstudio.blogspot.com. I will put the name right there. That was kind of like a little bit of this and that and the other that I've been doing the last few weeks. But earlier in the month, I started feeling kind of crappy. I thought I was having a flare-up for the issue that I'm having, and it turned out it was not a flare-up. It was yet another infection. So I am off the antibiotics now. I'm feeling really good. And I thought I better hurry up and get out and make a YouTube video before I start getting busy with things again. Let's see, anything else? Oh, a few weeks, well, more than a few weeks ago, I was watching an episode of Catherine Stitching Chronicles. Very nice channel, gal from Canada. I don't remember exactly where. But she started talking about, she wanted to start organizing all her cross-stitch stuff. And I thought to myself, hey, that's a pretty good idea, especially after the last video I did where I was explaining about the emotional support chicken that I made for Kenzie over at my puppy stitchery. If you remember the video, I had reached back and I pulled what was the leftover skein of yarn, and I think that seeing that was just kind of like the final straw a little bit. You'll see that it's kind of empty. I decided I need to organize. I need to do some serious organization of my yarn. My cross stitch stuff, I've got a better handle on that. Well, I took a picture before I started this video, but you might be able to see. That's yarn. My DMC collection is right there. I've got, oh boy. Sorry, thought I heard something. I've got a mishmash of stuff over here. I've got some spinning fiber, Ada cloth, kitted projects, empty project bags. This is a project that I haven't touched for a really long time. And then up there is some cross-stitch charts, quilt projects, more Ada fabric. I decided that after that I really need to do something about it. So that's why those are empty, and I've got all this going on over here. That bag is a bag of spinning fiber. Of course, you can tell all my hobbies, excuse me, all my hobbies I need lots of stuff for. Because in the back there too, over there, is my canning jars, my pressure canners. I've got freezer paper for hunting season. There's seed starting stuff, and I don't know what else over there. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff, but really I thought I gotta get the yarn, a handle on the yarn. So that's what I did this past weekend. I pulled everything yarn, almost everything yarn wise, because I have 2 totes over here that I didn't touch. And just started organizing a little bit and breaking it up by fiber content and everything. And I was so surprised to find 2 skeins of lace weight yarn that I bought what feels like 100 years ago with the intention of making I think it was a shipwreck shawl, years and years ago. If you're a knitter, maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. It was a pattern on nitty.com. It's, oh boy, it's got to be like 15 years old. But it's a beautiful lace weight pie shawl. Maybe a pie, it's got to be a pie shawl. Different motifs and everything. And I think one person I know has made one of them, and it's just something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. And then a few episodes ago when I was talking about making a lace weight shawl, I actually had that in mind, but I didn't have enough lace weight for it. Now I do, but now I don't have the brain space to make a lace weight shawl of that size. If you've been following along for a while, you notice I did not start that lace weight shawl that I mentioned a few episodes ago. Anything else? I can't think of anything else. I mean, that's just like the major thing. Oh, I started out the month a little strong with the cross-stitch projects, and then I reached certain points with them and decided to stop where I was and set them aside and have them, probably not touch them for the rest of the month. So this could be my only Flosstube for the month of July. I decided to kind of take it easy this month and focus a little bit more on getting a handle on that. And also I have a quilt project that I've been working on for 2 years, and I'm getting very close to finishing the quilt top. I just started sewing all the squares together last night, and I have learned that that is going to be a little bit harder than what I thought it was going to be. I already knew it was going to be tough. I should post a picture of some of the squares up here if I have any of them, and you'll see what I mean, because I've got to make sure everything is going the same way, all the points are lining up, it's going to be a little intense. It's probably going to be my most complicated quilt since I started quilting, but it's going to be beautiful when it's done, and huge. I think it was like 96 inches by 80 something, all said and done. Eight rows of 12-inch squares, and each row is going to have 7 squares in it, so 56 quilt squares. Yeah. Okay, let me take a break, get things set up, and I will restart. Before I get into my works in progress and all that, I wanted to share something that came to me in the mail back from Mackenzie at Mud Puppy Stitchery. Okay, if you didn't see the episodes, I made her an emotional support chicken. She wanted to do something nice in return for me, and she made me an offer I couldn't refuse, which was to fully finish an project for me. And I sent her down my Hope Song by Heartstring Samplery. I forgot to grab the project card for this. But it came in the mail like right after I recorded my last video, and I wanted to save it and share it on this video. I still haven't figured out a spot to hang it in the house, but I think it turned out really, really nice. I already shared it on my Instagram and my Facebook page. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my name over there is the same as the channel here, which is Amnicon Studio. It is a private account, so you'll have to send me a friend request. I made it private to keep the creepers and the stalkers and the troll bots and all that from following my account and sending me icky messages. So here is my finished Hope Song. And she also made a YouTube video showing how to fully finish it off. So if you want to see her progress, that's maybe not the right word. If you want to see how she did this, I will link the video down below along with her channel, because you should be following her because she puts out really nice videos and she's a designer. Yeah. When I opened up the box and took it out of the packaging, I'm looking at it and I was like, what? I stitched that? She made it look so good. So that is my Hope Song, and I wanted to say a public thank you to Mackenzie for finishing it off for me. Thank you. Okay, my first works in progress that I wanted to share is my One Stitch at a Time by Lindy Stitches. I am participating in a stitch along in the Across the Pond Stitch and Chat group on Facebook. This is what it looks like. Here's my project card. I am using Charles Craft DMC fabric, linen 28 count, and tea dyed. I am using the DMC conversion except for the color of the house. I changed that to something. I changed it to a red color because I live in a red house. And I took this out of the Q-snap because I wanted to show off the entire thing. And since I have it ironed, I thought, oh, sorry, email. I wanted to show off how nice it looks while I still have it ironed and out of the Q-snap. It may not look this nice again until I'm completely finished with it and have it framed, but here we are. And I think last I showed it, I had this whole half done because I did the left side first because the chart is on 2 pages, left and right, and I was able to fit all of the left side in the Q-snap that I was using, which I think was a 12 by 12. And now I'm starting on the other side. So I did the stitches, and then I decided to do the border and this part and then this part, and I decided that was good for July. I'm not sure what I will start off in August. I have come to accept that the stitching on this is gonna be wonky. And what I mean by that is this is my first time stitching on this kind of linen. And the house was, I messed something up in the house on the stitching. I don't know if it was a row or whatever, but there's a couple other spots around here where things don't line up according to what the chart says it should. And I feel like I've grown as a person because I've decided to just let it go. And in the grand scheme, even 6 months from now, I'm not going to remember where it doesn't line up. The only way you're going to know there's extra stitches or not enough stitches or not the right amount of stitches is if you go and you count every single stitch. I mean, from this distance, you can't tell. You can't tell anything. Everything looks perfectly fine. And I am okay with that. I'm letting it go, and it looks beautiful to me so far. And if anybody decides that they need to like pick apart your cross stitch like that, and you haven't entered it into like a competition to be judged or, you know, to get a ribbon or anything like that, what was it? I feel like there's a meme, a chicken meme about that, just like something and then just scratch the dirt and cover it up. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. So that is my one stitch at a time. I started it January 10th, 2025. And I think that is all I need to share about that one. I even remembered a thing. I'm so proud of myself. Well, I'm really proud of myself for ironing everything. Of course, now that I'm showing, not everything's going to be flat. It's going to get thrown back in a tote here. Okay, next one I want to share is, well, let's see what it says according to my notes. My next project is something that I pulled out of hibernation. I can't recall the last time that I worked on it, but it was something that I started, December 1st, 2023. And that is White Christmas 2022 by Primrose Cottage Stitches. Let's see. Oops. Project card before I decided to create my own fancy project cards and print them out. If you can read my writing. I decided, let's see, previously I stitched the snowman, and you'll see that because it's all on the same fabric. This time I decided to stitch the mailbox. That one I picked up I started working it July 9th, and just finished it July 17th. So the fabric I'm using is 14 count Hobby Lobby Ada with opalescent. This is farm fresh. Let's see. Wow. It does. The lighting on that's not very good. It's a nicer blue than, it looks kind of muddy. But that is what I did. There's the snowman that I did previously. I am using the called for colors. I am not using the white DMC floss. I just, since it's opalescent, I wanted the sparkle to come through. And it doesn't, I can't tell if the sparkle is showing on it or not. I will say this one was easier for me to stitch than the snowman. The snowman, I don't know what my problem was, but I was, maybe because I was trying to work around the shapes of the snowflakes that I struggle a little bit. This one, I did the outline first, and then I just started working in rows down. And that made it go pretty quickly, in my opinion. Yeah, I did everything first, including this, and then I started the background on that, and then finished off with the back stitching on here. My Santa name looks not as good as the one on the picture. So actually, so this is the only thing that I've worked on for the last, well, since the 9th. Cross stitch wise. I have done a little bit of knitting on my socks. And honestly, I don't know why that was second in my row, in my list for works in progress. Here's the flosses. The flosses I think are really pretty. I love that red. I'm actually thinking of using that red for a different project that I'll show in a little bit. All right, next project. I know why I stuck that on second on the list up there the way I did. It's because it's a works in progress, and everything else that I have to share is actually new starts. So the next things on my list are socks, or my my vanilla socks. So maybe I'll just show those real quick and get them out of the way, because they're nothing extremely fantastical, which I shouldn't say that about my own knitting, but they're just plain vanilla socks. Okay, first one I'm going to show is my Licorice vanilla socks. I finished one sock already. I can't remember if I had that done the last time. Yes, I did. I did. Because I'm pretty far along on the second sock. Duh. Oh, let's see. Well, no, I'm not going to put it on the sock block. Oh, okay. I don't know where I was the last time I shared it. I'll put a picture up here like I usually do. I just turned the heel, and now I'm working on the instep. Started working on the decreasing. And as I was working on this sock, I realized I'm still having an issue with the ladders. And no matter how careful and how relaxed I try to be, I'm still having that issue. And at this point, I've accepted that they're probably not going to come out when I first wash them and soak them and do the first blocking. And I was thinking to myself, I never had this problem before. What's different? And I will tell you that I'm a self-taught knitter. I learned originally from DVDs from the library, and then YouTube kind of came around, and it was, well, it still is this magical thing that if you need to learn anything, chances are you will find it on the internet. Otherwise, I don't know that I would even know how to knit or crochet and do a lot of the other things that I know, because I don't know anybody in person who does the things that I do. I mean, well, I take that back. I mean, I know people, but we're not close friends. And knitting is a lifestyle for me. I mean, my coworkers know. I mean, they're not even surprised that if I'm at a retreat or some kind of work function and we have a few minutes, out will come the knitting. And I know the one guy said, just like, you know, your hands are never idle. And it's like, well, yep, I always got to be doing something. So, okay, I remember way back when I first started knitting YouTube videos. This was before I got into cross stitch as heavy as I am now. I was making videos sharing my knitting, and I was reading a lot more back then too, but we won't go there. Somebody had left a comment to me asking why I knit my socks inside out. I had no idea that I was knitting my socks inside out. And so then I thought, well, I must be doing something. I must be knitting wrong. Well, of course, you know, older and wiser me, like, you know, if it works, then it's fine. You know, don't let anybody judge you about how you're knitting. But I gave that one a lot of thought. And one of my other friends said, a lot of people who do color work will knit their sweaters inside out, because then they have a better handle on the floats and everything. I think that my knitting the socks inside out really helped with the ladders. So I think after this pair of socks, I'm going to start knitting my socks inside out again. There was somebody who did a video. I don't remember how long ago it was. It could have been a year. It could have been 5 years. I don't remember. Where they said that how you always remember where you're supposed to be knitting on socks is like, they equated it to like sipping champagne or something. You always drink at the front of the glass. You don't drink from the back. And that one kind of stuck with me. So I guess I know how where to always have the be stitching. But when it comes to socks, I think knitting inside out is definitely like the way to go for me. So yeah, these socks will definitely not be given to anybody because I think the fact that they're charcoal color too, it was hard. And then, you know, trying to make sure that the stitches are together, it just exasperated everything. I don't have the label, I think. But anyways, I started these on May 3rd. Wrong pouch. My go-to knitting needle size is US 1s, 2.5s. If you ever see me do my head like this, it's because there's a notification on my phone, and I'm just trying to read it and see if I need to act on it. But Knit Picks, Stroll, it doesn't want to focus. Anyways, it is Licorice Tweed. So that's where I am with those. I've been giving them a little bit more attention than the other ones, I think, mostly because I want to get them done. I honestly don't know how well the chicken sounds are going to come out on the final video, but it just, the punctuation sometimes is too much. My other socks, which I am more enthusiastic about, although still not as enthusiastic about the needles that I'm working with, are my beach cruise socks. I don't have a tag for them. I started these on June 1st. Needle size, same as the last one. It's Knit Picks Felici yarn in the Beach Cruise colorway, which is yellow, orange, blue. Yarn was purchased from Knit Picks this year. A big order that I put in, well, at the end of May, early June. No, end of May. Because otherwise I wouldn't have started them on June 1st. I think I've been watching too much Community. Okay, so the last time I shared, I think I just done the whole leg of the sock. Again, there will be a picture. And now I have made the heel flapped and started the instep, and I've decreased down to where I can just finish the foot and start working on the toe. I am knitting this on itty bitty 9-inch circular needle using the method of Crazy Sock Lady, which I don't know her first name. I watched her video explaining her method, and it has been going a lot better than I thought it would. I am not keen. No, I'm still not keen on working on these little bitty needles, but once I've got a little bit on, it's been going better for me. I'd say my main complaint right now is I try to do everything as she did, well, without doing the marking every 10 rows, because I'm just not doing that. I have a length that I knit to, and that's where I start making the heel flap and stuff. But these little light bulb stitch markers, I think they're called, I really don't care for them. They get tangled up a little bit, and then I worry about it accidentally crossing over somehow and not being in the right place. So yeah, maybe today I will swap those out. But I kept with these ones because I didn't want to have anything going on that might perpetuate ladders. You can see on here, there's no ladders. She also explained like picking up a stitch when you're making for the the instep, and you don't have that gap that usually happens. And I like that, so I'm going to continue doing that. But yeah, I've decided I can't close my sock drawer. So I've decided I'm going to slow down a little bit on the sock knitting. So I have not been I haven't been working on this one too much. And that's the main reason for that one, for not working on this one. I just figured I'm going to take it slow this month. I'm going to take it slow on this. Oh, who knows? I say that now, and then like 3 weeks, I'll be like, I need to get these socks done. I need to start something new, new sock project. Okay, so those are the only 2 knit projects I have. I will say, when I was pulling out my yarn and organizing and everything, I've got a lot of acrylic yarn, and I gotta start thinking of things to make with it. I also discovered I've got a lot of, let's see, that top tote in the back is all my dishcloth cotton yarn. I need to make myself some dishcloths. All right, next one is a birthday start. I am doing this with Sarah over at Sarah's Stitchy Spot, Holly at Hobbies of Holly, and I think her name is Stitching Bunny, Judy. And there's another person that I know of, although I'm not connected to her in any way. I think I might have started following her on Instagram, but I admit I don't know if that was actually who it was. But it is, hold please. All right, it took me a hot minute to find the next project cover page. I had my project card and I had half the chart and I couldn't find the cover page and the part of the chart that I've been working with. It doesn't have its own project bag yet, which I'll explain in a minute. And I just lost my notes. Okay. This project is a birthday start. The ladies that I just mentioned, we all have birthdays in the month of June, and I don't know if it was Sarah or Judy who chose the chart. There's another gal that they're stitching with by the name of Marcy, and I kept hearing Marcy mention, and I keep looking up, and I finally decided, okay, it's decided I'm going to start this and do a stitch along with them. The project is called A Daily Reminder by Brenda Gervais. I'm sorry, I'm just having a moment here. Here is the project cover, what it looks like. My project card, I started it on June 25th. And for this one, I decided I was going to dye my own fabric and do my own color conversion. I don't have all the colors figured out, so that's why this one kind of stalled out, because I didn't know what I wanted to start working on yet on it, and then I have to decide a color. And I'm pulling from stash, so that adds another level of uniqueness to it. 14 count 8 of fabric I dyed. It was brown with green splashes. So far, the DMC I've used is B5200 for the, excuse me, for the alphabet. Here I am so far. Get that back so far. All of these are Smyrna stitches. I had to relearn how to make those, and they went really fast, a lot faster than I thought they would. So yeah, I think this was just a couple evenings worth of work. I have my book of days with me. I could look if I wanted. But yeah, that went a lot faster. I decided this was a good point to stop. I stopped, I ironed it, and I set it to the side. And yeah, I'm not sure which element to start working on next. So there's that one. And as I go, I'll be updating my list there. I still can't believe I've got the chart and everything scattered all over on this. I have no idea what happened to the bag that it came in. I bet you I threw it away. Figures. All right. So that was my first new start I want to share. My next one, I feel a little more prepared for that one, maybe. Or maybe not. I see everything here except for the chart itself. Hold on again. I hear the crows are starting out now. And if you notice that the lighting is a little bit different than previous episodes, it's because the sky is overcast. We might get rain at any time now, I think. More rain, just what we need, right? Okay. My next project is Red Panda by Lindy Stitches. This is something that was from her Endangered Species club that I went into 2024. Must be 2024. Yeah. And I know in a past episode I shared one of her charts shortly after I got it, and I enthused about how big these charts are on this one. Here's the back. In case anybody wants to know more about red pandas or the, hold up. My son just came out here and had to share something with me. We're watching the Ryan Trahan YouTube series where they're visiting 50 Airbnbs in 50 states in 50 days. And he's pretty excited because, spoiler alert, they are coming up to Duluth for their next Airbnb. He spoiled it for me, but that's okay. The last video we watched, they were in Wisconsin, in Deerfield, I believe. And it turns out that they went right past my son's middle school when he was in middle school. Which is, like, if you know anything about northern Wisconsin, I mean, we're not heavily populated, and usually not a lot of people travel through. More like famous people and stuff. So he was pretty excited. He came running out of the house yelling for me, and that's why I stopped the video. And he just had to show me. He's like, "Does this building look familiar?" And I'm like, "Maybe." And he said, "It's the middle school." And I said, "Oh, I've never actually seen the front of the school, because when I went to go pick them up, I would come in on the side, and I came in from a direction that I never saw the front of it." So yeah, a little taste of life. When he said, "Does this building look familiar?" And I said, "Hold on, let me put on my glasses." I was such a meme there for a second. And apparently the chickens think it's funny. Red Panda, Lindy Stitches. Oh. At the rate this episode is going, it's going to be like an hour and a half long and take me 3 hours to record. I really enjoyed the Endangered Species Club, although this is the first one that I'm stitching. Because, you know, I don't know. The life of a cross stitcher. Lots of charts, not enough hours in the day or time. When I'm retired, I suppose I can stitch these all up. But by the time I'm retired, I'll probably have at least 20 more charts I want to do. The charts on this one are really big. It's from here down to here, nice and big. And there was a sticker that came with it too. You know how I am about stickers. And these are so nice. I don't know what to do with them. Did I put this up? I don't remember if I put the project card up, but there's my project card. I am using Hobby Lobby Ada Ivory 16 count. She said to use neutrals for all these charts, although I have seen some finished pieces where the background was not neutral and they were really fantastic. But I going by what she suggested for these. The club, she had a few different levels or a few different options where you could do just the chart only. You could do print or PDF, option of PDF or chart plus the fancy floss colors it called for. I opted for the printed chart and the fancy floss to come my way. Everything's living in this project bag that I made. And here is my start. Oh, I started it on June 22nd. No, that's the wrong project card. Which makes me wonder, did I flash you the right project card? If not, here we go, just in case. I started it on July 4th. Oh, yeah. At least I can laugh at myself. There it is. You can see what I've started so far. Just that little part. Room here and here. So I would like to start working on this one again very soon. That little bit went a lot quicker than I thought it would. Now that the lighting's getting darker, I'm having a harder time seeing because those colors are so deep. Is that the right word? So that is all of my works in progress. There's, well, the colors for Red Panda. Next up is a finished project, not an FFO, just finished. It is Black Bellied Whistling Ducks by Lindy Stitches. Here's my project card. I started this on May 3rd and finished it on June 21st. This is the project card that it came as. That's what it looks like. I'm stitching it on Hobby Lobby 14 count Aida in a mist. I'm using the called for DMC and the Threadworks in Rustic Red. And here it is. I would say that overall I'm happy with this. I was hoping for this color to be a little more vibrant than how it's showing, and I don't know if that is because of my choice in fabric or the floss itself. You know, I tried to find something that was similar to the called for fabric, and I thought I did good, but I don't know. Let's see. I didn't have a hard time with any of this. I was a little concerned when I started stitching the Whistling Ducks part that I would struggle with it. It went easier than I thought it would. I think there is an unintentional customization somewhere in here. But yeah. I just need to find a frame for it now, and then I can hang it up on my wall eventually. I guess that's about all I have to say about that one. No. Let's see, there was a sticker, I think, with that one too. the one that, maybe not. No, it was a postcard. It was postcards that came with this one. Postcards and stickers, but I mean, their little feet remind me of flamingos. And then if you want to read more about them, if that shows up, I'll admit, a lot of times the stuff that I put up, I can't really see because I need reading glasses now. Things are kind of a mess. I made the ring bling out of the stickers. That's why I couldn't find it. And the floss. And then the little zipper pull I made. I like making these with the stickers. They were a lot of fun. It was my first time making anything like this. And I will definitely do it again. Okay. I've got I have 2 more finished objects. One is definitely an FFO. The other one I'm not sure I would call an FFO because I haven't decided on whether to do this one last bit on it or not. Let's see. Okay. When was it? Well, in June, I won a chart from Ashley and Jeanne over at We Stitch and We Know Things. And it was a Halloween chart by Lizzie Kate called Nevermore. Here is my project card. I started it on June 22nd, 2025, finished June 24th, 2025. It was a really quick stitch, and it wasn't that I spent a lot of time each evening on it. Hobby Lobby Lugana, 28 count ivory DMC 310. And I FFO'd it on June 27th, and I turned it into a little pillow, and it turned out really cute. This was my first time doing this kind of finish in the front. I wanted to do something sort of similar to the front there, although I didn't know how long I should cut that piece, and I don't have rickrack. And I didn't want to mess with buttons. So I decided to just make it a clean front with the back. The fabric is the same. I think I did post this on Instagram. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I want to make at least 1 more of this chart, possibly 2 more. There's somebody I have in mind. So that was that. Last thing that I have is a needle punch kit that I got from is Allison over at, I'm unsure of how to say her channel name, Miss AZ Family Zoo. I apologize, Allison. I've been watching her channel. Well, every time she puts out a video, I've been watching it, even though it's not cross stitch. I'm trying to support her channel because she puts out some really nice tutorials for quilting. She's got a few projects tutorials going on from Kimberbell, and they're all really cute and they're all really nice. I don't have the kind of machine she has, so I can't necessarily do the projects the way she does, but I enjoy watching them nonetheless. Well, back June, must have been June again. I didn't write a project card for this one. She did a contest giveaway on her Instagram channel, and I won. Me and one or two other people, we won our choice of needle punch projects. I chose this one. And I was hoping to get it done in time for the 4th of July. I did not. Yeah, it was kind of silly why I wasn't able to finish it. I lost the threader that you use for threading the needle punch thing. It's a thin wire that you run it through, and then you can, well, here, you can use it to hook onto the yarn and then pull it through the needle punch. And I could not find it, and I looked everywhere, and you know, it's, well, yeah, you can't really see it here. So I mean, I was kind of frustrated because I didn't know if I had any other ones. Anyways, I found it like July 5th and finished the project, and here it is. Now this is my first time doing a needle punch like this. I'm used to doing it where the loop bits are out, not the flat side. I'm going to show you the back. Don't judge. But I'm used to the loops coming out like that, working on that. And my experience is that when you do it like this, you can't really hide when you don't have everything right next to each other. So the gray for me was actually the hardest part. These strips of fabric, they're iron-on applique. Red needle punching around, satin stitch. Yeah. Overall, I'm pleased with how I did it, being for my first time. I have no idea where I'm going to put it. One of my friends said I should hang it up out in the she shed, and I said I could. The only thing that I did not do on it, and let's see if you can see it, these little dots, those are rhinestones. And I don't know what kind of glue to use to affix those to the fabric. I'm trying to see if I have the rhinestones. They got to be in here somewhere. There's not much left in here, but yeah, because I don't want them to be a gloopy mess behind the rhinestones. I think the rhinestones are in my craft room. So for now, until I decide either way, it will be rhinestone free. If anybody has any suggestions for what kind of adhesive or glue to use on that, please let me know. Because I think all I have is a tacky glue, a clear tacky glue. And actually, I don't even know why I have it, what project I bought that for, but that's what I've got. All right, so again, punch needle kit, one from Allison over at Miss AZ Family Zoo. I will link her in the show notes as well. And another public thank you to Kimberbell for sponsoring it for her. All right, that is it for projects. I I debated on talking about future stuff, but I'm going to remain firm in my take it easy for the month of July and not think of future plans. Just kind of focus on, well, I guess the white Christmas ornaments. Try to get as much of that as I can done, and then kind of come back to everything in August, which, can you believe it's August? I'm having a hard time with the fact that we're so far past the 4th of July because it feels like that just happened. Anyways, I do have a little bit of haul, being that it was my birthday in June. I have a wish list over on Amazon, and my sisters-in-law each sent me a book off of it. Not cross-stitch related, though knitting related. I don't know where I first came across these, but I really like the idea of knitting the projects, and because I don't have anybody really other than myself and immediate family to knit for. And I thought, what else could I be doing that would be, you know, a project, but not take up a lot of energy. Not energy, that's not the right way to explain it, but something that I could make and I would be able to give away, like set it, knit it, put it aside for a future gift project for anybody, and yeah. Also, I'll admit, I'm kind of thinking like towards the future, whenever my son starts having kids, then I'll have stuff for the future grandkids. First book is Knitted Animal Friends. Like I said, I don't know where I saw about these books or the designer, but I saw a little sneak peek and I thought, oh, those are so cute. And I like knitting amigurumi crochet stuff, so. And it's a very nice, sturdy book. I haven't had a chance to really do a deep dive on it yet. I mean, that's just, oh, and there's a cat one too. So yeah, I'm excited to sit down with it, pick out a animal to start knitting. And I think the animals on here call for DK weight yarn. I'm not going to try to find DK weight yarn. I'm going to go into my yarn stash and find appropriate colors. And if I don't have a necessary color, I will go get it. Acrylic yarn, especially some of the more budget-friendly ones. Those have really come a long way since I first started knitting. They're a lot softer. I will use those. That was one book. And then my other sister-in-law got me this one, and I'm just in awe too. Woodland Knits. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just darling? Oh. Again, badger, Wisconsin state animal. Oh. Wild rabbit. I can make another little pfeffer. Gray squirrel. Oh, and there's the deer, or fawn, if you want to get technical. Very cute. Oh, and a barn owl. So yeah, so that, a lot of my acrylic yarn hopefully will go to projects in these books and more emotional support chickens, because, you know, I got to keep stitching those. Other things that came in the mail was the most recent Punch Needle Primitive Stitchers magazine. I haven't looked at this one yet at all either. That one, look at that. And the last thing I got was the Halloween just cross stitch. This one I've sort of flipped through real quick. This one really caught my eye. And Jan over at We Stitch and We Know Things said, hey, you want to find something out, do a little stitch along together with this? And I said, sure, I'd be up for that, because I do want to stitch a couple small Halloween things this year. And it just looks like there's a lot of cute ones in here. I do know they have a little, yep, there it is, index in the back. Oh. That is all that was in my little bag of tricks. Couple other, okay, so I did the hauls. Okay. I am going to switch what I originally had written down here, which, who I've been watching. I've been watching not as many Flosstube channels as I have the few weeks prior to my last episode. But I wanted to share a few that I have been watching. You may have heard some of their names before, but these channels I really enjoy. Patty Penn, Stitching with My Kitties. Kat over at Stitching with the Griffin. Lorraine, I'm not sure which, is a newer channel I discovered. Sew on Wednesday, S-E-W on Wednesday, and she does beautiful pieces. She popped up on my recommendations one day, and I decided to hit play, and she's a delight to listen to. Let's see, Beth at the Steadfast Stitcher. She's kind of a newer one to me, and she's got cats, so of course she's an automatic in my book. Mackenzie at the Night Owl Stitcher. She's another one that actually I think I was Googling a tutorial for something, for Needleminder or something, and one of her videos popped up, and I love her intro. She's got owl hootin', and it reminds me of late evenings at the house when I go out to tuck the girls in, which I call closing up the coop and shutting off the light. Sometimes you'll hear the owls. Ashley and Jan, I know I've mentioned them a few times already, at We Stitch and We Know Things. And of course, Sarah, the Northwood Stitcher. She's actually, of her videos, she'll probably laugh when I say this, but I have been getting such enjoyment of her last few videos, because she's been posting updates about her pup who just had surgery. I forget how long ago, but yeah, she's had little cameos of her, and then I can hear her in the background chomping and chewing on her little lobster stuffy, and it's just so, it puts such a smile on my face, and makes me happy. And like, she brought her to the vet, and she had her little pearl necklace on and her little suitcase, and I thought that was just adorable. So yeah, that's some of who I've been watching. And then This has happened to me a couple of times when I was leaving comments on other channels, and they'd respond back to me and then tell me that they really enjoyed watching my videos or a specific project that they had recently seen. And I'll admit, I didn't know that they were watching my channel, which is awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's awesome. But it got me thinking, and I started thinking about the whole algorithm beast, as I heard somebody else call it. You know, you got to feed the beast on YouTube. And YouTube, I am not a fan of algorithms. I don't know that anybody is. And it feels like such a necessary evil to have to say, if you like what you see, please hit like. If you want to keep seeing things, see more of my videos, be sure to subscribe. And then to leave comments, because that helps boost the channel in the algorithms. And if you click like and comment and subscribe to all that, then YouTube thinks that other people might be interested in the video, and they'll push it to other people in recommendations. Just thinking about it makes me sigh a lot. And I hear everybody else say it, and I try not to say it too much myself because everybody else is saying it. But then I start thinking, well, what if YouTube can tell if you're saying these things or not? Like, there's a channel, homesteading channel, who instead of saying a certain 4-letter word, she says that everything is, well, not everything, but she was talking about her garden. And she said how her garden was unalived for the remainder of the season. Well, in my mind, she could have just said that it was asleep for the rest of the year. But I know certain words are verboten in some websites and social media. And I'm going to ramble here a little bit, but I'm eventually going to get to my point where I'm not farming for comments necessarily, but I'd love to know who is all seeing my videos. And I don't get that a lot. I try to leave comments for other people, at the very least, so that they know that I'm watching it and that I'm supporting their channel. Like I said, I've left comments where, just, showing my support. I'm not participating, but I want to show my support for various things. And I know a lot of people watch YouTube on their smart TVs or through Roku, which is what I do. But I usually have my phone or a computer nearby so that I can usually rattle off a quick comment once the video is done. So those were all my thoughts. Like I said, this last little bit's going to be a little rambly. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but I guess it's okay because, like I said earlier, it's probably going to be my only Flosstube of July. And I sometimes wonder too if length of video also helps boost the whole algorithm thing. And I've always tried to keep my videos more concise, because if you're watching on your lunch hour or in between when you're driving your kids from one event to the other or what have you, or even if you're listening on your commute, which I do sometimes, I download the YouTube videos and then I play them in the car when I'm driving to town to doctor's appointments or work or anything. And then granted, I can't leave a comment right away, but I try to leave a comment after I come back later in the day. So what I wrote here is, If you watch and you can't think of what to write in a comment, but want to show your support for the channel, feel free to just leave an emoji. Just so that I know that you're spending time with me, you watched the channel, you enjoyed what you've seen, or even just a thanks for the video. It helps feed the algorithm beast and supports the channel. And I thought, so now, I mean, I came up with that idea and then it dawned on me, that's why certain people are saying, you know, leave such and such emoji down in the comment if you reach this point. Well, if you reach this far, I don't even know if they have this one, leave a chicken emoji. Maybe that, you know how Carol Burnett used to have the ear thing with her grandma? It was a little secret hi. Leave a chicken emoji. Just not necessarily for anything in particular, but just so that I know that you are there. Because that, you know, it's all about community, right? And I know that once I started being more active with leaving comments and on YouTube videos and stuff and reaching out to other Flosstubers, that I really started enjoying the community. I'm leaving more comments in Facebook groups. I leave comments on Instagram. I leave comments in YouTube videos. I mean, I'm sprinkling that sunshine everywhere. Just because I enjoy the community. So I guess that's all I have to say about that. Even if it's like days later, and you're, oh yeah, I want to say something, just feel free to leave an emoji or just say thanks for the video. I mean, you could even say which project you like the best out of what I'm working on, or, you know, whatever. Or, yeah, I enjoyed hearing the chickens clucking away in the background. They must finally be done laying eggs, because actually, if I could switch it over for you guys to see, they're all like underneath one tree, just kind of chilling. Let's see if this will work real quick. If you can see them. All right, I guess that is all I have to say for now. I will try to record a garden video in the next week or so. I will say not a lot has changed on the garden front. We keep getting rain. We're supposed to get more rain. My tomatoes are not happy. So, thank you for spending time with me today. If you liked what you've seen, hit like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you want to leave a comment and don't know what to say, just leave a chicken comment, chicken emoji. Everything helps feed the algorithm beast. And so until next time, bye. Next up is a finished project. I